Welcome to the commentary booth, where we watch and you guessed it, commentate on the week that was in movies and TV. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator, Jam Yaps, and each week I'm joined by a rotating cast of color commentators to help you find your next viewing treat. This week I'm joined by an impact fee technician who lists their favorite movie as A Nightmare on Elm Street and favorite TV show as Golden Girls. Welcome to the show, Corrina Mabey.
Hello. Howdy.
How is everything on there? Did you freeze yet?
I didn't know, so I did not get snow, but Florida got snow, y'all. Up in the Panhandle in Tallahassee, they got like 9 inches of snow, which is fucking unheard of. Yeah, so unfortunately, I did not get any snow, and all attempts for me to convince the big boss man to let me and my boss go on a field trip to observe snow failed miserably because, I was told my job does not maintain roads. my job collects funds to build roads, not maintain them. So going up there would be a pointless visit. But I tried.
Yeah, your country's a bit broken at the moment.
We're all over the place. We have like every kind of fucking thing you can imagine right now. We still got fires going on. We've got snow. People in Louisiana don't know what to do because they don't know how to respond to snow. I saw that Florida, their solution, because they didn't have like the salt readily available to salt the roads. They were taking a sand mixture and sanding the roads to create traction. So, great times over here in the U.S.
So in order to escape the doom and gloom of US life, this week we're reviewing a film especially chosen for Corrina, who requested that we cover more rom-coms. So today we're checking out the star-studded Prime Video original film, You're Cordially Invited. Now, in this film, a woman planning her sister's ideal wedding and the father of a bride-to-be discover that their destination weddings at a remote resort have been double booked, and then both parties decide that they're going to try to share this small venue, which ensures that chaos ensues and disaster awaits. Film is directed by Nicholas Stoller of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek, Neighbours, Neighbours 2, and Bros fame. The movie will release on January 30th on Prime Video, so when this episode releases, it'll be like 24 hours away. It stars Reese Witherspoon as Margot, the sister of the bride, Will Ferrell as Jim, the father of the other bride, and then a couple of fun cameos from Peyton Manning and Nick Jonas as well. So before we dive into the details and the nitty-gritty of You're Cordially Invited, what did you think of this movie?
When I said that I would like to review more rom-coms, that did not mean that we put Will Ferrell into this mix, because Jamie knows how much I dislike Will Ferrell, the actor. I appreciate Will Ferrell, the comedian on SNL. I loathe the actor Will Ferrell for the most part in like everything. The only saving grace this movie had was the fact that Reese Witherspoon was in it. So, like, when I say rom-com, hey, Sweet Home Alabama, that was a Reese Witherspoon rom-com we could have revisited or something. We didn't have to do this one. But here we are. Yay.
I actually surprisingly enjoyed this movie. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't your typical Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah, well, there was a few moments where I was like, this is a Will Ferrell movie for sure.
Yeah.
It also didn't lean like super heavy into the romance of the comedy side. It was much more comedy with a touch of romance, not a romantic story with a like little comedic twist.
Yeah, I did appreciate that. And of all the Will Ferrell movies that I've ever had to painstakingly watch, this was one of the better ones. So, yay for that. Yeah, I don't know. It's for me, like, I didn't hate him as much as I normally dislike his characters. So this was like a breath of fresh air. Like I said, that's why I didn't feel like a Will Ferrell movie to me, because I didn't loathe him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably because like they give like Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell kind of get equal billing in this,
Yeah.
but it's definitely much more a Reese Witherspoon movie than it is a Will Ferrell movie.
Yes, it's like
He's
Reese
like the
Witherspoon
support to
featuring.
her, yeah, her main lead role.
Yeah, which I liked. I appreciated that all day.
Like we said, Reese Witherspoon plays Margot, the sister of one of the brides. She is a reality TV producer in Hollywood, making some ridiculous shows. A couple of the examples are Is It Dead, where the contestants have to decide whether an animal is alive or dead and then go up and touch it if they think it's dead. There's a show called Masquerade, which is basically The Masked Singer but for dancing.
Yep.
And then there's another show called Dirty 30s, which was basically just like Married at First Sight, like just like a dating show for people in their 30s.
Yeah. I like the Is It Dead? I wish we could have like a real one of that, because I fucking go hard with that one. I'd be like, yeah, throw me in there. Let me touch it. I just want to poke it. I don't care.
Yeah, except I feel like Peter would have a massive issue with that show.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But regardless, whatever. It's fine. Everybody's doing whatever they want over here. So it's cool, like, why not?
The Masquerade show was kind of funny. It was, yeah, basically just like that Masked Singer show where they put like a celebrity in a ridiculous costume and have
Outfit.
them sing, whereas this one they just had them in a ridiculous costume and had them dance.
Yes. Yeah. That was interesting.
And then you have, on the flip side, you have Will Ferrell as Jim, who is the father of the other bride. And he's kind of just like a single dad now that his wife has passed away. Has a very weird relationship with his daughter.
It's very strange.
And then the brides are played by Geraldine Viswanathan as Jenny, who is Jim's daughter, and she's getting married to Oliver, played by Stoney Blyden. And then Reese Witherspoon, Margot's sister, is played by Meredith Hagner as Neve, and she is marrying Jimmy Tatro as Dixon. And then the other like major player in this movie is Jack McBrayer as Leslie, the wedding venue or subsequent second version of the wedding venue manager.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like the ridiculous situation that gets them into this point where the wedding venue, which usually only hosts one wedding per weekend, has been double booked after the original receptionist manager answers the call from Jim, agrees to book his daughter's wedding in on a certain date, but then her pen doesn't work, and then she subsequently has a heart attack.
Yep.
Before she can tell anyone else, and she passes away. Her son takes over and books in the second wedding, and it's just like a classic comedy of errors set up to get us into this situation where these two totally different families and weddings thrown into the one place.
Yeah, that was a fun beginning. Like when the beginning happened and that was the situation, I was like, all right, well, this is going to be an interesting clash of clans, literally, because they are two total polar opposite kind of families. Like one is very staunch and by the book and like Southern, like, prim and proper family, and the other one is like, hey, look, we're TikTok famous. So
yeah, pretty much.
So it's very different. And we see that a lot throughout the movie, the differences between all of the families, with Margot's family members being, very Southern, and embracing that in weird ways.
Very MAGA.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that side. And then, Will Ferrell's daughter, she's just very, very millennial, like very like your normal boozy girl who wants to go out and have fun, and her boyfriend is a DJ, or fiance is a DJ. So there you go.
And like, yeah, the families are like because what's the magazine that one of Margot's...
Guns and Gardens.
That's it?
Guns and
I was like, that's a
Gardens.
very Southern American magazine. That's a
Yep.
Texas magazine for sure.
Or Alabama or something like that. Like that is going to get filmed, and you're gonna have the big gigantic estate with like all the really pretty flowers, and then she's just gonna be sitting there in her garden with her shotgun.
It's like, wasn't there like a Tulsi Gabbard photo shoot or something where it was like her and all her kids with like assault rifles, and you're like,
I think so.
what the hell?
Yep. Yeah, so it's very very different dynamics for both families, and when they get together and certain circumstances push them to interact with each other, that becomes a really wild kind of moment too.
Yeah, because you have like this one wedding which is all glitz and glam. They have the professional TV makeup artists versus DIY dad makeup for the other bride.
Yeah, he's in the
And then,
bathroom
yeah.
like doing her hair for her. You want me to do your hair? That's all good.
Mhm. And then, yeah, it's like a formal party, formal like wedding with suit, tie, everything. And then you have like the other one, which is just party central, having a barbecue out in the grass lawn and
Yeah.
just partying it up. And that contrast feels like some of the best moments in the movie.
Yeah, because it's like you have the family outside that's like playing cornhole, and they have like a shots bar lined up and like beer coolers everywhere. And then inside the venue, you have the like 3 or 4 course dinner, and it's like served to you, and with each one, like course 1, course 2, and then like very proper speeches and stuff like that, which was interesting.
And it's funny too, because like even the groom in that glitz and glam buttoned up wedding, even he doesn't belong in that family because
No,
he
he
is
doesn't.
a stripper.
He's a stripper, but he was also a medic, like a military medic at one point or something. So yeah, he's like the wrench and everything for that family. Like they're afraid to tell the family like what he does for a living, because she's ashamed of him almost, kind of, and she doesn't want her mom to to resent him and stuff. So that's really interesting too.
And that's like also plays into the idea of like this is much more of a comedy movie than it is a romantic movie. Like normally with the rom-coms, you can see that like from the get-go, you're like, oh, these two are the people that are gonna, they start off hating each other, they're gonna get together.
Right.
This one didn't really have that for quite a while. Like I didn't pick Margot and Jim to be the two people that the romance was going to be surrounding. I thought it was going to be like these brides and grooms are going to realize they're marrying the wrong people and like
It's flip-flop or something.
Swing a couple swap type deal.
Yeah. I was really rooting that her sister was going to end up finding like a random man at the end of the movie. Like I was kind of hoping that she was just going to hook up with like the hotel guy, because her sister was feral, like absolutely feral.
Yeah, shotgun wedding too.
Yeah. But like I was here for it. I was just like, oh boy, this movie has some really good like one-liners in it too, that you like hear it and then it takes you a second to be like, wait, did they just say that? Like, did she really just say that? Oh, it's fantastic.
I also love the wedding guest who, oh, what do you do for work? I'm in the business of business.
Yes. We're the business that businesses go to gain more business. Sorry, what?
Yeah, what? And then later he realizes, oh, wait, that's just what a bank does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you idiot.
It's fantastic. And then it's just like, it's just such a whirlwind. And then Will Ferrell's daughter has so many bridesmaids. Like, I've been to several weddings, and yes, I've seen like a handful of bridesmaids, but she's got like 20 fucking bridesmaids or something. And it's like she's made every single person a bridesmaid almost. Like all of her guests look like they're all bridesmaids, and then all the grooms guys look like groomsmen. Like nobody looks like just a regular wedding guest in that
like
party.
A guest, yeah.
Yeah, everybody just looks like they're literally in the wedding party.
Yeah, the only people that aren't like part of the wedding party are like the family.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody else,
all of the friends somehow got into the wedding party list. Like, what?
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, wait, why do you have like 20 women like sitting in chairs next to you at the altar as bridesmaids? Like that is so crazy to me.
Yeah, just pick 2, you fool. You don't need that many.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have that many friends in general. Like, that's sad for me, but like I don't even have that many people to like literally fill up that much.
But I did love like it made for a fun commentary on like millennials. This movie
Mhm.
too, like with the maid of honor having incredible anxiety and not being able to talk on the phone to make sure that the venue was all good. I just do
I
emails.
felt
I
that.
just do emails.
Yeah, text. Can we text? Like, why? Why? Like, I felt that so bad because before I decided that I had to be an actual fucking adult, I absolutely hated talking on the phone. I still don't like calling in orders and shit. Like, if I can order online, I'm going to order online through an app. I do not want to call in a fucking order. Like, I hate that shit.
Mhm. And then there's like also the sort of little bit of the commentary on the economy with all of these millennials. When Jim goes, None of you have jobs." He's like, they're all like, "No, the economy is terrible. Of course we don't have jobs."
Yeah,
So they're just available all day, every day to fuck around.
do whatever.
Are you a trading card collector or a fan of Australian pro wrestling? If so, you're not going to want to miss out on the limited edition Australian wrestling cards. Each set includes 50 packs of 10 cards, including some of the country's top wrestling talents like Robbie Eagles, Shane Haste, Madison Eagles, Hartley Jackson, and they have Shaza McKenzie listed, although she is not a favorite. The velocities, and a lot more. There's wrestlers, referees, announcers, commentators that are featured, giving you a full appreciation of the Australian independent scene. The cards sold out a lot faster because cards are hot right now, as I'm sure Jeremy Lambert will tell you. But you can order your Australian wrestling cards now at Pario Magazine. That's PARIO magazine.com.au/AUS WRES cards. Follow Australian Wrestling Cards on social media at AusResCards for updates. Join the hundreds of fans who have already discovered the excitement of Australian wrestling cards.
And then like there's also the commentary on sort of woke culture at the moment with like Jim calling Margot, "Oh, that lady,"
Yeah, the
and his
lady.
daughter like flips out. "You can't call a woman a lady. That's so demeaning." And he's just like, "But she is a lady."
Yeah. I was like, yeah, there were so many things. And then honestly, like, and I just got through reading a book where it kind of irritated me. I hate when people like use terms like, oh, that's cringe. And like they spell things out like IRL and shit like that. And I'm just like, just say what you're trying to say. Stop fucking, making fucking letters and stuff. I don't want to hear that. And that's literally
Yeah,
what
we don't
that
need
entire
abbreviations.
yeah, that's what that entire party was like, oh my God, that's so cringe. I can't believe you would say that. Things like, dude, shut the fuck up. Please.
That and like they throw around like, "Oh, he's gaslighting me. He's gaslighting me." And then he's like, "Do you even know what
Oh,
gaslighting is?" And like he explains it, and they're like, "Oh, that's not what I thought it meant. I've been using it wrong." Like, yeah,
yeah.
you idiot.
It's like their favorite word for an entire like 20-minute like scene. That's literally the word that they throw around. I'm like, if I hear this fucking word one more time, I swear to God, I'm gonna throw my shoe at the TV. Like, oh
And like I think that's like pretty accurate too, because like these days, if you disagree with someone, but like try and explain it to them,
yes,
they just go, "Oh, you're gaslighting me." No, I'm explaining it the right way. You just
yeah.
don't want to believe it. So apparently, I'm wrong, and I'm gaslighting you.
Yeah, I cannot. It's just like one of those go-to terms. Like, ugh. There's so many of those go-to terms nowadays, and it's just,
Yeah.
please learn what
Woke in
the words.
general is such just like a thrown around term
100%.
that has no meaning anymore.
Yeah, everybody uses it. Like, if you disagree with something that they're saying, oh, you're just fucking woke and you're buy into woke culture. No, I fucking told you that the dress was pink because it's fucking pink. It's not red. Like, the tag says pink. Oh, no, 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 no. You're just being fucking woke. Get the fuck out.
Is it a gold dress or is it a blue dress?
For real? Oh my God. But yeah, like that's the whole thing is like that whole party. Like, I feel like this movie is a really good. I feel like everybody can kind of relate to this movie because there's so many different generations that are portrayed in this film. Like, you have the really
Mhm.
old, like Reese Witherspoon's mom is like that old Southern lady who's extremely slightly racist, just not on camera very much.
Slightly.
She's pretty fucking racist.
She's she's full on Trump racist.
Yeah, she's pretty fucking racist. And then, you have like Will Ferrell and they're like, my parents' age or whatever. And then you have his daughter, which is supposed to be like my age or a little bit younger. And I'm just like, this is a great like wide range of people being shown here.
Yeah, it does a great job of just like satirizing and caricaturing all of the different like stereotypes of generations.
Absolutely.
There is a slightly awkward line when one of the wedding guests asks Margot, "Oh, have you been affected by the fires?" I'm like, "Oh, that's
Bad
bad
timing.
timing. Bad timing for this movie."
Yeah, super bad timing because she is based out of LA.
Yep.
So
As soon as they said, I was like, "Oh, that's not a great time for that line to be in this movie."
yeah, it was a bit rough.
Well, and the other thing too, with like the satirizing the generations too, Will Ferrell's daughter announces her annulment via like an Instagram post.
Oh, it was a TikTok. They made a
TikTok
TikTok.
post.
Yeah, it was like
TikTok about they're annulling their wedding after like 2 days,
yeah,
but he's still there because they haven't like actually done anything. Like, what the fuck?
yeah. It was a very strange kind of moment. Like all of that was really weird, and it was funny though because that's now that I see it, I'm just like I don't put that past half of these influencers because when TikTok was going away over here in the U.S., so many people just like outed themselves because they're like, we're not going to TikTok anymore. We'll just fucking let's just say fuck it and burn everything down. And
we script all of our skits. Like, yeah, no, we can tell, you dumbass.
Yeah, we know that. And then within not even 24 hours, it was like, oh fuck, what do we do?
Yep. Now we have to totally revamp our content because we can't just do the same shtick again because we've already outed that it's all fake.
Yeah, we were so worried about like losing our income. Well, we just fucked ourselves because now we have to find a new kind of shtick. Like, ugh.
And like it's so accurate of like just that generation. They terminally live online. It's like there's no as the moment something happens, they're like, "Oh, I've got to make a post about it." Like, no, you don't.
No,
just leave it.
I also love the fact that you can see how out of tune they are with the real world because her maid of honor, she does not make a like maid of honor speech. She literally reads from a fucking Dr. Seuss book. Like that is it. I'm like,
yeah, you can't even write your own
fucking speech. Like wedding speech or whatever have you. Like she's literally reading out of a fucking Dr. Seuss book, like right in front of everybody. I'm like, oh, okay.
And they're all clapping like, "Oh, so poignant, such a great story."
Yeah, such great writing. Jesus, you think? And then you have the complete
only one of the most well-recognized literary minds of all time.
Yeah, and then with the other wedding party, you have the total opposite, where they get fucking one of the Jonas brothers, and he fucking sings Creed. So,
yeah, Nick Jonas comes in as the pastor for the buttoned-up, real fancy wedding, but he's just using Creed lyrics as wedding vows.
I was like, oh boy, this is everybody's just like gone to shit at that point.
Mm-hmm. And then a bit more chaos ensues when the dock collapses. They all fall into the gator-infested lake. Although I don't think we see a single gator in this gator-infested lake.
No, and they're like paddleboarding and like there's like speedboats out there or whatever. And I'm like, there's supposedly gators in there. That's exciting. Super exciting.
We do see a gator later in the movie though when
oh man,
Jim wants to play Is It Dead in real life and cuddles up with a gator in bed.
Yep. Yeah, that was a choice.
Yeah, that was one of those like classic Will Ferrell, just like totally out there bonkers moments.
Yeah. I just like how everybody's just like, how the fuck did a gator get in the room? I have no idea.
And then he fakes a heart attack, which is another like just stupid moment, but very funny.
Yes.
There's also fakes the heart attack, and then as soon as he gets his own way, he's like, "Okay, I'm all right now."
Mm-hmm. The other thing that screamed Will Ferrell to me is the father-daughter duet that they do. That's super uncomfortable. That was a classic Will Ferrell thing for me. If anything,
he loves a sing-along moment in a movie.
Yes, 100%. And this did not disappoint in that moment.
Yeah, singing "Islands in the Stream" with your daughter, very weird.
That was another choice. I'll put it that way. And everybody at the wedding was just like, probably shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm. The other classic Will Ferrell moment too is the adulterous wife
Mm-hmm.
who like is just like blatantly like, I want to sleep with Jim. And it's like, you are married, woman.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
She's going after everyone. She's just like all over the place.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like what eventually takes us down the romance path is Jim and Margot. They get so caught up in making the weddings perfect and their little rivalry between each other of, I just want to sabotage the other person's wedding, but in doing so they end up making these weddings about them and their rivalry and not about the couples and their happiness, so
Yep.
that they essentially ruin both weddings and
Good job.
lead them both to realizing that we're going to end up alone, like with our family not wanting to have anything to do with us. Neither of us have partners, and they kind of end up bonding over that together. And
Yeah.
that's when the romance kicks in. But that's like
Towards the end.
third act.
Yeah. That's like almost the end of the movie. Like we get maybe like 20 minutes with them where they kind of like acknowledge that they seem to gravitate towards each other and, you know, eventually like get together or whatever. Like that's really it. It definitely wasn't like in your face the whole time, which I really do appreciate.
Yeah, like it wasn't the sort of movie where there's like that tension of like, will they, won't they, are they going to get together? Like, oh, they're supposed to be together, they just haven't realized it yet.
Yeah.
It's like total just like antagonistic from the start to about 2/3 of the way through, and then they go, oh shit, I kind of stuffed up my whole life.
Yeah.
My family want nothing to do with me. In Jim's case, my first wife is dead. I'm literally going to be stuck living the rest of my life alone. And she kind of has the same realization that her sister wants nothing to do with her. She doesn't like really get along with her parents.
Yeah.
So she's kind of off in LA alone, and somehow they end up together. Like there's not even a real like moment where they realize that, and then there's like some sort of courting going on. They kind of just, one moment they hate each other, then they sit down and they both go, oh, we fucked up, and then they're together.
Yeah, because it's like they go and Jim repairs the like whole shabacle with his daughter, and then she kind of just drops the hint like, my dad likes you, and points out like he's been smiling at her, and she's like, really, you think? So yeah, it's just kind of quirky. And then they kind of just be like, you want to try this? Let's try this. Yeah, I want to go to dinner with you, kind of thing. So it's very casual the way it slides in, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I think like the biggest moment where they realize that they're sort of meant to be together is when Jim is like trying to teach her how to remember all of her nieces and nephews' names. Who all have like hyphenated double names, which makes it even more confusing. But I did laugh that one of the kids, the word association that they used to remember his name is Hitler. And she calls him Hitler during a photo. Like, ooh.
Yep. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a funny moment.
It was great. Also, Jesus, God, that was a lot. Like all those names. What's crazy is that there are so many people in the southern states. I mean, not just in the southern states, but it's very common in the southern states to have like 3 fucking names for each of your kids.
Yeah, it's hard enough to remembering she's got like a dozen nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Hard enough remembering a dozen names. But then when all of those dozen names
are hyphenated
and have 2 or 3 to go with it, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Of course I'm not going to remember your fucking kids' names.
Nope. Ellie Mae and shit like that. I'm like, dude, come on. It's like John Bob.
Overall, I thought this was like a absurd but silly Will Ferrell comedy. With like that little bit of romance. For me, certainly no Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, or Anchorman though.
Thank God it wasn't.
I think for you that's probably a positive. For me, it wasn't the best.
No, I love it. I want Will Ferrell to do more of these kind of movies. I need movies featuring Will Ferrell, not Will Ferrell in the movie. So, yeah.
How did you find Will Ferrell in Barbie?
He was good in Barbie. I appreciate it. I liked him a lot in Barbie because he wasn't mean. And also, like, he played a pretty good villain. So, I like him. Like he matched that role pretty damn well. Again, though, he was not a main character, and even though he was a main lead in this movie, it still did not seem like it was him the whole time. Like him and Reese, like we said, had equal screen time versus having to watch fucking Step Brothers ever again. Is going to be fucking torture, or Talladega Nights for that matter is going to be fucking torture.
That's okay. We'll watch Anchorman next.
Nope. I will tell you this. I will be 100% honest with you. I've never seen Anchorman, and I'm not wanting to see it, so we don't have to cross that bridge.
When did Anchorman come out?
I don't know, but we're not doing a flashback episode because it's not that old. And even if it is, we're already scheduled. No, we already have things lined up. We're not doing it.
Ooh. 21st of October, 2024. We just missed the 20th anniversary.
It did not come out in 2024, you idiot. It came out in 2004.
2004.
Good, thank God.
We just missed the 20th anniversary, so you're lucky.
I'm so glad I didn't have this revelation to you before the end of last year, because I feel like I would have been forced into that one, and that's not... No, I'm good. Really.
So in terms of a rating, what would you give You're Cordially Invited?
This one's going to be a 3 for me, just because there's nothing like super outstanding about it. It's a really fun like date night movie. I think if you're with your partner and you just want to like really chillax night with like some popcorn or something on Friday, it's really fun. It's even fun if you're just like hanging out with your girlfriends and having like a girls' night with like some wine and pizza or whatever, because that's my life is wine and pizza. I think it'd be really fun to just throw it on and like have a good laugh or whatever. But it's nothing to write home about or anything award worthy.
Yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 as well. It's like the perfect, like you said, like streaming Friday night, fun, silly movie where you don't have to think too much. You just switch off, enjoy the silliness, enjoy the fun. If you are a Reese Witherspoon fan, very good. Like Reese is like 1A, Will's 1B. So like if you're not the biggest Will Ferrell fan, it's not in your face with too much of him. But then for like if your partner is a big Will Ferrell fan like us, it works well because I enjoyed Will Ferrell, you enjoyed Reese, and we both had a fun time with this ridiculous, silly movie.
Yeah, it was for once you made I was impressed with your selection, even though I was not the biggest Will Ferrell movie. You're like, no, it's a rom-com and with Reese Witherspoon is in it. And I was like, I guess I'll have to give it a chance because rom-com. Yeah,
I know when I first pitched it to you, you were not like too pleased with the option. As soon as I said, it's a Will Ferrell movie, you're like, oh God, I'm going to hate this. But to see that you came out of it and being like, it wasn't so bad. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. And don't expect anything else though. Like this is not one of those like, easy transition movies where I dip my toe with Will Ferrell and now I'm a Will Ferrell fan, because that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. But
I think it could be for some people though.
Maybe for some people.
Start on Barbie where he's a very minor role. Transition to You're Cordially Invited.
Yeah.
And then it's hard because all of his other movies is like, it's full ball Will Ferrell.
No, Bewitched wasn't super bad either. Like it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but I also love Nicole Kidman, so there's that. It's like another example though.
Yeah, all of the like Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, Anchorman, they're
Will Ferrell.
Very much Will Ferrell movies.
Yeah.
Avoid Sherlock and Holmes.
I've never watched it. Don't really want to watch it. Even though to be fair, even though I really do hate Will Ferrell as an actor and stuff like that, him and John C. Reilly are the best duo ever. Like they have such great on-screen chemistry. Like I can't imagine a more perfect pair between them. Like they are just wonderful together on screen. They bounce off of each other so well. It's almost criminal how good they are together.
Yeah, that's one thing I was surprised that this didn't have a John C. Reilly like
it didn't
cameo part.
Because he's in everything. He's always in every single Will Ferrell movie.
He's always in a Will Ferrell movie. He's always there at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, none of that in this one.
Nope.
But yeah, the 2 cameos we do get, Nick Jonas and Peyton Manning, are pretty funny though.
Yeah, he is.
Peyton Manning is just a robot, I swear.
Yeah, he's just there. Like I feel like they just were like, "Ooh, who could we just randomly throw in this movie just to make it fun?" Peyton Manning. What are you doing this weekend? Do you have like an hour to spare for us? Because we just need you for like 10 minutes.
But yeah, so You're Cordially Invited, like we said, will be on Prime Video from January 30th. Check it out. It's fun. Silly, good Friday night movie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you everyone for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can follow Corrina on Instagram at Miss Corrina Renee, and you can follow me on social media at Jamie Apps Media and at Pario Magazine. The commentary booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/Jamie Apps Media. The following people supported at the publisher level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support.